be no charge. It's going to be free. 15% said it's going to be 100 or less, and that's 10 of you. And 9%, 6 of you said it's going to be between 101 and $200. And 3%, 2 of you said it's going to be under 300, between 200 and 300. And then 1% said it's going to be 301 up to 400. And nobody said it's going to be more than $500 there. But 40% or 40 of you, 60% said you're not sure yet. Okay. All right. Did you find the polls helpful? Did you like that opportunity to get this information? Okay. I really think this is great. I can tell you that you can do these polls in general sessions, but you can't do them in breakout sessions. So just so you understand how that works if you're planning these virtual RILAs. We're going to move on because we want to use this last hour to talk about a couple of other subjects here that relate to this. One of them is the youth protection that relates to our virtual RILAs. And Mike Claudia is our expert on our task force on youth protection, probably the most knowledgeable person in our 2 zones about youth protection. He is going to give us an overview of the things that would apply to virtual RILAs. And then he's going to be introducing Todd Jenkins, who will be speaking on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I would just mention that Mike is in District 5020. And Mike, that is where?
That's Northwest Washington and Vancouver Island in Canada.
Okay, you're on.
Okay, I'm going to be talking for literally just a couple of minutes about youth protection to give you an idea of what's going on here. I'm going to share my screen for a moment and see if I can get the right. Everyone see this?
Yeah.
I hope. So as was mentioned earlier today, Rotary has come out with a new youth protection guide. It talks about all Rotary youth programs, and real quick, obviously we all know that the district governor is the responsible individual for all district programs, including youth exchange and all other Rotary youth programs. They're required to ensure that they complete youth protection training, and they're required to learn as much as possible about the programs their districts participate in. So youth protection policies are covered in the new youth protection guide. And this real quickly are the items that are required for an effective youth protection policy, including criteria for screening and selecting volunteers, training volunteers and youth, managing program documentation and maintaining confidential records, and then having policies in place to safely store electronic data and personal information. So we're going to be doing a separate online session on youth protection in the next quarter or so. On the RILA side, the RILA chairs need to know district and RI policies, which means as a RILA chair, you should familiarize yourself with this youth protection guide. You're supposed to participate in screening and selection of both volunteers and your youth. Encourage them to report and cope effectively with change, which is sometimes a lot more difficult than it might seem. On the volunteer selection and screening, as was mentioned earlier by several people, you're required to screen your volunteers, even for virtual sessions, because there is still a danger. We're not going to get into that right now, but I think Chris will be posting a document with RI's electronic safety documentation that they've come out with. But volunteers need to be screened by a written application interviews, reference checks, criminal background checks, and then everybody should be trained on these 7 items, all of your volunteers. The one that's not listed there is behaviors and looking for warning signs for virtual delivery of content or virtual programs. So I'm going to go ahead and switch now to a different program because our speaker, Todd Jenkins, is not able to be with us. His wife is 9 months pregnant, so he is kind of just a little bit busy at the moment. He does plan to join us as soon as we finish the recorded session that he built for us. So let me present that, find it here. There we go.